Detective Arla Maven crouched beside the burned transport ship. Her gloved fingers brushed the hot, cracked sand. The desert of Heska Prime stretched forever, nothing but dunes and heat under two blinding suns. Wind blew fine orange dust around her boots. Scattered footprints led away from the wreck. Big prints. Heavy. Whoever made them wore armor. As the wind had not yet covered the trail, they must have left only minutes ago. The shuttle belonged to the Planetary University. It was a research ship, made for deep desert missions. Now it was ruined. Its blackened shell still crackled with leftover energy from a leaking core. The ship's logs had been wiped clean. But Arla knew what had been aboard. The Orb of Heska. A quantum artifact. Ancient. Powerful. Someone had stolen it. Arla rose to her feet, her eyes scanning the smoldering wreckage. Every sense was sharp, alert. Movement caught her eye. A small green beetle crawled from under a twisted metal plate. Its shell shimmered bright green and blue in the harsh sunlight. Strange. No creature should survive out here, where the heat could melt steel. The beetle paused and seemed to look at her. Arla frowned. Something about the way it moved didn't feel right. Then it scuttled away toward the dunes. Her wrist console buzzed, breaking her focus. A mechanical voice spoke. "Proximity alert. Node Zeta lab systems active." Node Zeta? That lab had gone offline days ago. Arla tapped her console. "Lock transport. Beam me to Node Zeta." In an instant, she was wrapped in blue light. Then everything changed. She appeared inside Node Zeta, a floating lab built on anti-gravity pylons high above the desert floor. Cold air hit her face. Everything was too quiet, too still. The walls were white and sterile. Crates sat stacked along the sides, some cracked open. Computer screens flickered weakly. A smoking containment pod lay in the far corner, spilling faint steam. Arla moved forward slowly. Her boots made sharp clicks on the metal floor. She called out, "Dr. Vaughn, are you here?" Silence. A bloody handprint streaked across the nearest console. A lab coat lay crumpled by the airlock, Vaughn's ID badge still clipped on the collar. No sign of the man himself. Suddenly, a recording began to play. The sound was broken and strange, looping over and over. The orb adapts, chooses. Arla tapped the screen. Nothing happened. The screen, and presumably the data inside the terminal, had been fried. Someone, or something, didn't want the truth to be found. She crouched beside the broken containment pod. It hadn't been broken from the outside. It had exploded from within. Glowing residue coated the edges of the crack. Whatever had been inside had changed, evolved. The lab shuddered beneath her. Arla grabbed the nearest wall to stay upright. Her console chimed again. Quantum field spike detected. Origin, crystal caverns. She didn't wait. "Emergency jump," she ordered. The world spun, and the lab vanished. Arla landed deep underground. The crystal caverns. Here, walls of pure quartz rose like towers. Soft lights glowed inside the crystals, pulsing like a heartbeat. The air smelled sharp, metallic. A low, constant hum filled the space, musical and strange. She spotted it immediately. Floating above a stone platform was the orb. It spun slowly, its surface swirling with patterns of light. It looked different now, larger, more complex, no longer a simple sphere. It was fractal now, spiraling outward in living patterns. But she wasn't alone. A figure in a dark cloak stood near the dais. His armor glinted in the colored lights. A symbol was etched on his chest plate, a spiral inside a star. Arla raised her weapon. "Step away from the orb." The man turned. His voice was calm, too calm. "You're late, Detective Maven." "Who are you?" she demanded. "I am what the orb chose." He reached out. The orb responded, floating higher, spinning faster. "It's not just a machine," he said. "It's alive. It's searching." "Searching for what?" Arla asked, keeping her weapon trained on him. "A host," he said simply. The orb pulsed and slammed into his chest. His body jerked. Energy lit up around him. Then he floated upward, glowing. Arla fired a stun bolt. It hit a shield of light and fizzled. "Evolution," the man's voice whispered as if from nowhere. "You can't stop it." With a final pulse of light, he vanished. The cavern fell silent, except for the soft hum. Arla lowered her weapon slowly. Her console buzzed again. "New trace detected. Space Dock 9. Arla arrived at Space Dock 9, a massive station orbiting Hesca Prime. Starships moved in and out of the docking bays like busy insects. Workers and droids bustled across the catwalks. Inside the command center, Arla uploaded her visor footage. Screens filled with images from the crystal caverns. Analysts watched closely, whispering to each other. But Arla focused on something only she knew to look for, something small. In the footage, near the stone platform, hidden among the crystals, was the green beetle. Its shell glowed faintly with the same energy signature as the orb. Arla zoomed in. The beetle crawled toward the dais, like it was drawn there. Or maybe like it belonged there. She whispered, "Pause." The orb could adapt. Had the beetle been one of its first hosts? Arla ordered quickly. "Pull all biological records. Look for any new insect species on Hesca Prime." The computer worked fast. Result: no previous records. The beetle species had never existed before the orb was found. Now it was multiplying. Arla leaned back in her chair. The space station's air felt too cold, but she still felt a chill crawl up her arms. The orb was alive, and it had just begun choosing.